map number 2 between Liquid and Optic, which sees Liquid coming into this at 1-0. They did just about win out on Nuke, and it was as close as you can possibly get with EliGE pulling in a crazy performance alongside JDM, 16-14. So Cobblestone, a bit more of a known quantity. Nuke, not really a map that either of the team plays a great deal of. Cobblestone certainly sees a lot more play from both these guys.
Yeah, I think it'll be the second most played map for Liquid, and then the most played map for Optic. So both teams should be happy to play it. I was really worried that it was just going to be kind of really messy on Nuke, and it kind of was in some senses, but Liquid looked very nice. They played very well, I think, overall, and that's why we saw the close game that we did. But here on Cobble, I think it's going to be a much more heated battle. I think Optic are going to think about Nuke as kind of a write-off, and maybe will have more of an expectation to just do extremely well here. Especially considering the last time they met, again, they stomped them 16-2 on Train. So, which is also another map that, and these are different maps, but that's a map that they love, that Liquid love.
Here we go into the second map in the first pistol round. Can Optic pick up yet another one? It's not looking too good as Pimp and Nitro alongside EliGE have chimed in for frags, but it's all down to NAFLI. They don't have Rush, who was the pistol king on Nuke for Optic, and NAFLI has to trek through the smoke. This is a very tenuous journey, and I feel like as soon as he comes out this smoke, he's probably going to be a dead man, because there's now a player to his right-hand side, which is going to be Nitro. Only a matter of time, and there we go. It's actually JDM that puts the final nail in the coffin. Liquid will pick up their first pistol round, and considering that Optic were unable to connect the dots after winning both pistols in the previous map, that's a pretty solid sign for Liquid. Yeah,
it's a nice start, obviously, to get that pistol on the board. And it was just really clean entries. Optic were none the wiser, I think, about drop after that initial frag came out. So here we're going to have the buy up in response. Optic can have armor on all 5 players, and Liquid going to be looking to gather some information. But with most players on both teams postured towards A, this could be a good advantage for the pistols.
It could be a bloodbath. This is where the pistols really do come to fruition. It's going to be Rush and Mixwell, both with the frag apiece. Tarik's made a move onto platform. He's going to play the patient game. He is. Oh, he pulls out his knife. It's going to cost him his life, surely. Tarik, greed is not good.
Was that entirely necessary?
If he just waited, he could have had a few kills there.
I mean, the fact that they were in position to win the round, like, yeah, it's a nice consolation if you know you're going to lose to get the knife, but that early on, and I mean, also not anticipating someone to come and trade. Seemed like a big misstep, to be honest.
Still anybody's round, though. A couple of SMGs have moved hands into Optic, and with Hiko low, he could be the next one on the chopping block. Decent positions have been assumed by Liquid, however. Pimp up on the plateau is going to spray down onto NAFLI, going to transfer across to Mixwell. And now Stanislaw in a 1-on-2. Both players are incredibly low, but he doesn't have a kit.
Oh.
Just playing the time. There's the next frag. He's transferring across to Pimp, but Pimp's playing this one smart. He is going to get picked off. Is there enough time?
And, oh, I think he just, yeah, he doesn't have enough time, and that was close. I think Pimp knew that, just like, I don't have to take this fight early. Yeah. There's no way he's getting back to the bomb in time to defuse it 10 seconds, but think about how easy the round would have been if Tarik had just, at the very least, waited until somebody else came out. Yeah. I mean, then maybe indulge yourself, but then you would actually be more inclined to probably just decide to get as many 5-7 kills as you could. But Jesus,
but I don't even understand the thought process, because surely you know that seeing one player there does not mean it's going to be a lurk necessarily.
And two of their teammates just died on the other side of the map, yeah. So it's just like really, man, rough stuff.
Optic did take down all 5 Liquid members though, and they have an AK and Kevlar for Stanislaw, so there is still maybe a bit of hopes into this round. I mean, I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible, because the rest of the team doesn't have Kevlar, and there are 3 MAC-10s in play. So Liquid trying to win back some of that economy that they lost out. Banking an aid to the tight left alcove. No one's home. Actually, Rush is in stables. Decent positions taken by Optic, and it's Stanislaw, the man with the AK, that's ate the most damage early on in this round. The MAC-10 headshot onto Stanislaw will put him out of this round now. AK is dead and buried alongside the dreams of Optic. Liquid should be taking this very easily indeed.
Yeah, quite a nice decisive cleanup here. Tarik, the last one spotted. And, well, you know, there are a couple of players who are hurt, but just wants to maybe pull a gun, if not get a kill. No sense in just rushing in though. And that's why we see him trying to figure out a nice off angle to pick up. But Nitro with the MAC-10 finds the headshot, and Liquid are off to the quick 3-0 start. Overall, have taken Actually, I mean, they lost all 5 players in the round previous, but it was a full SMG buy, and I think they lost 2 AKs. So overall, I think Liquid have done a good job kind of spending money and buying an appropriate amount of SMG so that they are still in a good position. Full buyout from both teams. No op option for Optic. That's some alliteration for you.
In the wrong profession, mate. Rap God
What should I
launches,
be?
dropping bars. But there's no kits, or as you mentioned before, for Optic Gaming. Liquid, on the other hand, have JDM with the AWP. Of course, he wants to pick this up whenever possible. And it's pretty much standard Cobblestone so far for both teams. Healthy spread across the map for Optic. They have effectively 2 players on A with Mixwell on the doors. He can easily wrap himself around to connector if he so chooses, or drop. And Liquid giving nothing away. They still have the bomb over on the mid side, so neither team really showing their cards just yet.
Nice and quiet. It's just pretty much smoke strike. A Cobble, again, is a map where a lot of ground is given up for free to the terrorists. A lot of the kind of aggressive map control happens on the A side of the map, where we can see multiple choke points, but here with Long B, it's just something that you typically concede as a CT.
Oh,
and
no.
There's actually a lot of players over towards the other, so this is a big map. This is a long rotation, so the fact that we've got CTs here, 3 CTs, almost closer to A than B is worrying, but they've caused a rotation now. Long B control has been taken, and the rest of the map has been forfeited. We know that it's going to be a B hit. 30 seconds remain.
The good news is that EliGE threw Molotovs. They instantly knew it was going to be a B hit, so they're now going to move their way around. Here comes Rush with a double spray down. Will go down. This is a pretty important kill. It's going to be NAF that gets taken down courtesy of Pimp. The double player stack on platform proving to be too hard to deal with. Now Mixwell had a fairly quiet first map, is trying to make amends. With 11 seconds left, the bomb is now planted. JDM going to be holding down from drop. A fairly aggressive position to have in the AWP, but Pimp is there to help him out. Stanislaw now, the last remaining CT. He's going to get the first frag onto Pimp. Did quite a bit of damage in the process, but there's JDM on the cross. And Liquid will pick up a 4th consecutive round. Optic back into an eco.
Yeah, you know, as you mentioned, that kind of a tell, but at the same time, Optic, I don't think you would have anticipated 30 seconds left, right? 5v5. You're going to B, and the default could simply be 4 CTs over at B. So I don't think they were anticipating Optic to be so heavily stacked towards A, and that's what caused that instant rotation. I mean, if they had that information, maybe they would have. And if they pushed people off of A, they could have either got a kill first or maybe had that information, but decided not to. And now they're using EliGE as a scout. Has picked up this UMP late into the half because he knows that his opponents only have pistols.
Yeah, it's the expendable weapon, really. If he dies, it's no big deal. The problem is, though, that he got fragged from the A side of Long, so he has no idea that Tarik's here, and Tarik was nearly in the money again. Now, I feel like Liquid don't realize he's here. Fortunately for him, though, Pimp was waiting on danger. And now the Mac 7, all that remains for Optic in drop. Rush may even have half a mind to just try and save this, honestly. It's not a bad weapon, but with Kevlar behind it, it's typically something a lot of teams will use in drop if they're low on funds.
One interesting thing we saw was that call out by Mixwell to jump up on the rock, and he could see kind of in between 2 of the smokes. I wonder if that's something that they had practiced, or they know liquid smokes land here, but I mean, it acted as a one-way for him, so not entirely sure they knew exactly where he was and if he could pull it off again. But that was quite an interesting spot versus the execute.
But all credit to Liquid. They have continued the pace. Get Rex on. Cheeky flash to the forehead. Why not? Doesn't cost Pimp his life. I can imagine if Rush has Pete there, got the frag on Pimp, there'd be some harsh words said between the 2 players, but they're all good. It's going to be 5-0 to Liquid, who are not giving Optic any chance to get back into this so far. Next round will be a rifle round. So Optic have a chance to bounce back in. It's going to have to be sooner rather than later, because 5-0 buffer round is a very nice place to be for the terrorists. It's going to be including an AWP this time.
Yeah, you could say, you know, there is room for CTs to lose rounds, but just that 5-0 start just means that Optic have yet to even prove that they can win a round. So that's the most worrying thought, I think. And the cool thing about CT side is we see Rush hanging on to this Mag 7. Just a completely viable option. And that's actually quite a deep long B smoke, which is interesting. I mean, it's going to come out early. It seems like the terrorists are on the other side of it, so if they wanted to, they could jump up. But seeing this smoke in response, the Olaf smoke, means that the CTs may be worried. They've already called them out and run through it.
Indeed, a stalemate in long. Neither team really wanting to try and assert their dominance just yet.
Yeah. No, you only die to this cold boost if you get lazy, because, and obviously I'm talking about cold zero. The thing is, I think it was SK to do this first. I might be mistaken, but you know, this is an angle where people will typically pre-fire now, just as a precaution.
I think the first two teams I saw doing it were SK and Virtus Pro. I know Snacks often gets boosted up there as well with Yorp, but either way, as you say, I mean, if you go peeking and you die, you've only got yourself to blame, and it's going to be now flying with the Yorp actually taking more of a passive position on the Chicken Coop, who lands the frag onto JDM. They went out a bit too aggressively. They had time to burn. Speaking of burning, there's Molotov landing by the feet of NAFly, has to relocate out into the open, doesn't get punished, but he's going to get finished off through the wall, and suddenly, in the blink of an eye, 3 frags come down for Liquid. It was looking good for Optic, and now Stanislaw must be like, guys, come on, give me a break. I'm not going to be able to clutch this 1v3. He's going to have to save again.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we heard you were a star, but no one deserves to be in this situation over and over again. The A rotator has an expectation that you have, you at least it has been brought down to a 1v1, 1v2 if it has to be that bad. But the issue is this site is so big, and the fact that you can come out of the door, for example, just hide in the door while somebody taps a bomb and then you peek afterwards makes it just so difficult to win. Not a small map, and not friendly to unfavorable retakes.
Could see what Stanislaw was going for there. I'm pretty sure he threw the grenade down because he knew that one of the AWPers died on long and he was trying to get the AWP back in his hands.
Oh.
So he threw the grenade down so it would blow up next to him. But unfortunately, the AWP wasn't there. So it was a waste of utility. And he actually did die at the end, so no saved AK either.
No Reddit for you, Stanislaw.
Nope. Rip.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm assuming that's what he was going for, because it gave his position away. So you have to have some kind of like a risk reward in effect there,
Yeah, the way he was poised, it seemed like he didn't have any plans to try to win the round. So yeah, I can see that. Oh, these flashes raining over, doing really good. Actually, doing a little bit more to EliGE, however.
Doing really good for who not necessarily known, because that wrecked Liquid on the approach. But fortunately for them, it's just a pick and mix comp of pistols and a Mag 7. Familiar territory for Optic, who are looking like they could very well go 7-0 behind. JDM will get yet another AWP frag, this time onto Mixwell, leaving the Mag 7 and Deagle with the Kevlar, all that remains. I mean, I'm somewhat mind-blown that after such a close map of back-and-forth Counter-Strike, this starts off at 7-0 for Liquid.
Yeah, and I mean, not to harp on the same points, but the fact that Liquid just were playing so well and just lost kind of only, it seemed like unfortunate rounds, was detailed kind of an illusion, actually, as to why the scoreline was so close in the last map. Rush to get 1 kill, small consolation. NAF actually is a little bit hungry for his own, and the Deagle is not.
Well done.
The Deagle either will kill you or you will do no damage. That's the law of the Deagle. Either you're one shot in beautiful, stunning fashion, or you do no damage and die and look like an idiot.
Often it does feel like you're on a headshot-only server when you have to Deagle. Yeah. Like you either land the sexy 1-dig, or you just absolutely get wrecked. Double up setup for Optic, trying to mix things up here. NAFly with the aggressive peek through mid. Not going to see anything. And what is that push, Stanislaw? You madman. Has he just given up? He's like, all right, boys, let's sign this off as fast as possible.
That looked kind of hilarious. I'm not exactly sure. I think he was way too confident in the flash and didn't. Oh, I think he was trying to sneak over to the right side of the cover, but was just like, he was asking for 4 or 5 seconds, and that flash, didn't give him one. Also, not taking into account people could be dodging them. Very risky stuff. But still, we've got one player to replace him. That's Tarik.
That's so odd to me as well, Onders, because you've gone for a double up setup, which suggests you want to play more passive. You want to effectively say, come at us, bros, we're going to be the turrets. But then you push aggressively and die. You've put so much more pressure now on the double up setup when you have a lack of utility.
That's a great point, Vince. Like the fact that now they have to rotate players to adjust, and 2 of them are ops. And Hiko, winning that duel also opens up the middle of the map, which is the scariest thing for CTs. And pretty good retake spots, however, and that pistol frag could mean something. Oh.
Unfortunately, it seems like it won't, and Optic's woes continue and their losses continue. As now we have got into a position where this could spiral out of control real fast if it hasn't already done so. That snowball is gathering momentum as it goes down the hill. NAFly will land an up shot, but that is going to be all she wrote for round number 8. Liquid as commanding as you can ask for.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see them just failing so hard over and over again. I mean, I think the only reason I thought that they would win that round is because just how many times we see the 7-1 scoreline. You know, that's the only reason. Just literally a meme was the only thing that was putting them to win that round in my mind. And yeah, just decision making, right? We saw Stanislaw just jump up and run out to long B, and that's something that actually, you know, that's something that I would ask in an interview as to like why you did that, because it looks ridiculous, but there had to be some kind of thought process behind it.
Well, you'd really hope so. I'm hoping it's not Tilt City right now. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense, you know. It's still relatively early days. There must have been a reason for it, but unfortunately, didn't quite play out. Optic into another buy. They have full round loss, of course. It does mean just the one kit and not too many grenades to play with.
Yep. Well, Tarik a little bit hungry for a kill. Oh, and does get the better of Nitro. Someone to trade, however, JDM peeks out instantly and finds the kill. So now it's 4v4. Again, really difficult map for the CTs, but the thing that's going for them is that B is usually more heavily stacked, and you typically only have one person at A to do most of the work.
Not the first time we've seen Tarik switching to his knife and putting himself in a little bit of bother there.
He was looking for that extra, just like 20 movement speed to GTFO.
So aptly put. It seems like that's how Optic are just faring in this map right now. You know, like it's going to be fast and furious.
I love this though. This is abusive. The fact that they know they caused a rotation, so they're like, even if they were stacked today, there's no way they are now. And oh, Pimp though going down. Mixwell was opping too, and probably just looking down the ramp, not expecting that to happen. And suddenly the round falls apart just as I was casting them to a loss. Hiko going to be running up the A ramp versus this op. Mixwell not going to be too greedy, and the smoke will allow them to cross. So they have enough time, however, to get that bomb down. They need to make moves.
6 seconds though. If Mixwell just lands the shot, it's over. There we go. It's all over. Liquid playing a little bit too slow, but probably not expecting the flurry of frags to come out. And finally, Optic, welcome to the scoreboard. They got themselves on, but they got to keep this one going. I mean, it's still salvageable, you know, if they can get 6 rounds or so on this half. It's a lot to ask, but then game's back on, even 5 rounds potentially.
Definitely. Not down, but not out.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. The biggest struggle, I think, will be right here now, because they're trying to avoid... I think they saved like 3 people, but I think we'll still be in danger of having not such a great buy next round, or potentially having to save just entirely if they don't win right here.
Oh, JDM. Fly could be a dead man, and JDM's going to land it again.
That was quite quick, wasn't it?
Very quick, yeah. He's been on point today. And Optic losing that play now forces them all to start to stack on B, and there's so much time left on the board.
Actually, just assuming that Liquid are just going to follow that lead. And with the waiting, this is just why it's bread and butter Counter-Strike. Is with the waiting, you can kind of dictate what the rotations will be, the most sensible rotations, and then try to take advantage of it from there. We see the CT going back. Oh, and after this jump up, oh, no one's actually spotting this. I mean, not hearing that jump. Oh man, so surprised. But EliGE getting a couple of kills, and now it's just one person left on the B site.
Yes, and it's going to be all down to Tarik. Has landed the first kill, but intelligent play from Liquid, facing him different angles. There's no way Tarik can watch out from 180 degrees. And Mixwell going to try and save his AWP. So, I mean, the nightmare has become a reality. Optic finally win a round, but then instantly their economy has been broken again.
Yeah, the only thing that's nice for them is Mixwell hanging on to this op, but the fact that they just lost that round, and I don't know, man, they pulled off that boost. I think they were so lucky. Typically, if you fall off a boost, like, you just want to abandon it, because if somebody was up there and they weren't talking to each other, they would have heard that footstep. They would immediately just have been on. They would immediately have just been like a gopher coming out of his hole, just focused on that person to do the boost, at least for a few seconds. And he was fortunate enough to get that kill, and still EliGE gets 2 in response. So
when it rains, it pours for Optic. They are going to be able to save the AWP, but alongside this isn't going to be too much. And this is JDM's flick. I mean, this is, again, in slow motion. That's still lightning fast. And this is the boost that you're talking about. Hiko caught with a nade out. EliGE, though, does come back with 2 frags, and Rush couldn't do anything to deal with it. So Liquid now 9-1. Optic, I mean, this is almost looking like it could be a bridge too far now.
Indeed. I'm surprised to see they didn't actually just get head armor right away. I mean, they've got the op to work behind. That Mixwell, you know, he would have a lot of work to do in general. As we mentioned. Oh,
nice.
Okay, that was insane.
Spicy.
Yeah, spicy Spanish shot right there.
The only downside for Optic, though, is that they weren't able to get their hands on that weapon. They'd love to have the AK-47 dropped across to someone else. And instantly, the answer comes in. They know there's only going to be one weapon in the hands of Optic. And there's mixwell for a second, so he's saying he would need to step up big on this map. And so far, he has been really the only shining light for Optic Gaming. 2-on-2, but EliGE and Hiko are going to put down the kills, and mixwell gets a Glock to the forehead for his troubles.
Oh my god.
That was the chance for Optic you have to feel to get another round there. It was looking so good for them.
You know, we weren't looking at the right person, but just to see EliGE turn around from third person, hit that Glock headshot, that was just so funny to me. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's nuts.
Muy caliente.
Second one. Mixwell did miss a third shot on the way out of Murder Hole there, but he was asking a lot. 10-1. And Optic, Stanislaw goes out aggressive again. This time he nearly does get a kill for his troubles, but I mean, it's just falling to pieces now, isn't it?
Yeah, you want to leave?
It feels like Optic do.
Yeah, for real. I have to wonder about their comms because I want to say they get emo, but they seem to just feel like it's just like, oh, it's all over at a certain point. Like even that last map, but who knows? Who knows what's really going on? Again, they really shouldn't count themselves out because it's just they aren't too far away from having. They still aren't out of distance of having a decent half, and mixwell should just like win this round. Oh yeah, mixwell, walk up on him. There it is. There it is. The spray control and the third frag. Very nice.
That sounded like you were casting a porno or something. Oh yeah, Mixwell. Do it. EliGE next dead. Mixwell plays perfection. I mean, that's kind of. I thought we were going to have deja vu from Tarik's derp when he had his opportunity, but no, Mixwell was there for the 3-man. Nicely done.
Wonderful.
I just can't get that comment.
I'm satisfied. Yes.
Yeah, he sounded quite satisfied at the point. So Mixwell has been the man, you know. He just needs someone else to share the burden on the team. Like Rush and NAF, 2 guys who were going off for Nuke have gone completely absent now on Cobblestone.
Uh-oh, Stan, wow. That is such... Okay, wait, there's still one more person here. And there it is, Mixwell. Drops the bomb, has a little bit more opposition to deal with, but that smoke at lower is so nice for him. Makes you wonder where he got that first smoke to begin with. He didn't actually throw his own, and there it is, a second kill. A player to help him out, and he misses another shot, and EliGE finding 2 frags once again in a situation where they were down a man.
Optic, you've got to hold on to these rounds if you want to stay in this map. They could still win. Hiko and JDM are lows. Good positions have been taken up from the CTs with the spray. Not on point, and EliGE with a 4K in the round on 30 health. Liquid continue to stride towards the finish line.
Wow, EliGE is honestly the Jimmy Neutron of Counter-Strike. He's just the boy genius. Look at this. I mean, that's, again, another situation where they were just down and somehow gets 2 kills. I mean, again, that was this great flash to start it off and then finding another one, or another 2, excuse me. The worst part is just having to save over and over again. That is really the part that makes you want to bite the pillow. I mean, that's what sucks. You know, it's like you can think, okay, we can look forward to next half. We get a couple of rounds here. It's not so bad, but just have to go pistols over and over again. And then as the IGL have to come up with eco strats for days. That is what's really taxing.
You can see they went for a bit of a desperation play through mids against Stanislaw playing aggressive. And he did get a kill this time, smoking on the door. Tarik is the man that could prove to be the Deagle Master. There's one, and a second, and looking for a third, but Rush will take it from underneath him. And decent trade out. Optic will pick up a third, but would 4 rounds be enough on Cobblestone realistically if they can take this?
No, I mean, sorry, I wouldn't want to say like no straight up. It's obviously still, it'd just be Liquid's favor. There's nice movement here. I just want to point that out. Just like baits the shot out, gets another shot in, and that was quite good. But they do at least have a good chance of winning this round, just considering. And look, they've done so much economic damage that even after all of this, it's Liquid to have to save right away. Using a fair bit of utility, but also baiting out in response so many resources.
4-player stack for Optic on B, putting a lot of confidence on Stanislaw on A by himself. And as you highlighted before, Cobblestone, one of the biggest maps in terms of rotations for the counter-terrorists. So if a fast play did come in and Stanislaw falls, well, Liquid would be odds-on favourites to get that bomb planted, but Stanislaw is going to hold firm on the boost. Only for 1 kill. He did do a lot of damage to Pimp, who's on 1 HP, though. And it looks like the rotation was fast enough to get round onto the A side. Nitro's going to get the drop onto Tarik. Not like this, Optic. Not like this. What is happening? And Pimp through the smoke. JDM comes in for a frag. It's all onto NAF. The only saving grace is the bomb hasn't been planted yet.
Oh my God, they're actually just leaving. They are 100%ing this round. I mean, they're not like, let's go maybe trade this kill. They are like, let's just go to the other side where we know he's not at. And NAF, I mean, just gets the picture. It's actually just rotated and it makes you wonder, was that even worthwhile? But just being so obvious, I guess, about leaving. But here he is to watch the cross, does a little bit of damage, and this would be so funny.
Doable.
This would be hilarious.
This is completely doable.
Oh my gosh.
He's read that Hiko's behind him.
Hiko now is going to probably take his time. Actually, let's walk through the door.
And the other two players' launders are incredibly low.
Could this happen?
Oh, Hiko's coming up fast, though. Good day, he's probably numbered NAF. He has the right idea. Oh, he called it so well. But unfortunately, Hiko's Tech 9 was up to the task. But NAF with some next level calls there in that round.
Yeah, I mean, just a good rotation. It makes me wonder in that situation, do you actually want to go to the other side? Because I mean, as long as it is for the CTs, it's even longer for the terrorists. So, I mean, maybe trading and that's it makes more sense almost. But I mean, he did have to essentially call it out, like, oh, they're not coming back for sure. So there was a read that played into that. And then we see the last few rounds trading out. Optic getting all three in the later part of the half. And we have the 5 armor buy for the terrorists, and we don't see that being a problem because Liquid in the first half, we saw, I don't even think they used any utility and were able to open up the round like 2 free headshots. And that is what pistol rounds come down to more often than not.
Definitely, especially where the Liquid play them. You can see JDM just holding the long angle with USP where it really does triumph over the Glock. Nitro very much the same. Mixwell has burst out. He was one of the heroes in the pistol rounds on Nuke and Russian. Mixwell again. Bring it to a 2-on-2. USP's been picked up. A desperately required round for Optic is still in the balance. Liquid do have a kit on Nitro and a flashbang.
Unfortunately, no option to just trade here. They do want this kill. I like the re-aggression on the long. They know that the CTs are split up. And instead, they're actually just going to be double peaked. So the flash comes out, damage is dealt, but they both stay alive. And that's the important point. Nitro now alone, but has a kit for the retake. Pushing up.
As you say, though, they both stay alive. So there's 2 separate angles you have to be very wary and careful of. Nitro lands the first frag, but there's the reason why the 2-man versus 1, it should always triumph, because he's 2 separate angles to watch. He gets the first kill, but then I think it was Rush at the end that gets him in the back. So Optic have kept their dreams alive for now, but it has to be pretty much flawless Counter-Strike from here on out.
Yeah, that is just it. Here overall, I mean, some nice shots. That's actually 3v5 that Optic came back from to win. So all 5 kills going to Rush and Mixwell. Credit where credit's due. 3 UMPs. I've heard Stanislaw say that all you need is SMGs on eco rounds. But maybe if you're not feeling all that confident, then maybe you want to spend a little bit on AKs just so you have a little bit more peace of mind. You can ensure that you're going to win. And you're not also banking on losing 5 players. I mean, having to stick with 5 UMPs into the next round as well means you're just going to end up spending money no matter what.
Yeah, and I feel like if you have AKs, it kind of stifles you a little bit. You can't play quite as aggressively and freely in certain situations. With UMP, it's more of an expendable weapon.
Definitely.
But you're seeing here, oh, not again, Optic. Okay, I thought if Pimp lands that second 1D, then the round is certainly very possible. I mean, it still is. Hiko's got a UMP, Nitro's got a Deagle, and Nitro's in prime position to strike. Rush could be going down with the bomb in his hands, and indeed he will. The AK is just round the corner for Nitro as well. Hence the quick cheeky flashbang, but now he's the last player remaining. Mixwell is so close to death. He needs his teammate to do something, and just in the nick of time, Stanislaw comes through with UMP, 5-12. Liquid into an eco.
Yeah, not such a bad result overall. 3 kills there. 3 kills on the previous, I think, and Optic now with just this NAF to lead the herd. I think he's going to be the scouter, if you will, and they'll probably use him quite aggressively, knowing that Liquid are short on money, are definitely not going to re-attempt to armor up, or if they did, they'd be crazy. So, and it's actually just a committal towards B with NAF going down drop. He's going to be happy to have found his feet in this moment, and is actually just going to farm up. 3 kills? No. But 1 to the clock? No. But with nice movement, managed to stay alive.
Yeah, just straight out into the face, all up in the grill of Liquid, and 2 kills, nice amount of money in the bank. Pimp, meanwhile, is hoping for an exit frag. You can see from his position with a P250, it would be, if someone walks into his crosshair, he could certainly get the frag for himself, and desperately wants to try and take an AK out this round, I'm sure. But seeing as no one is coming his way, he's going to go searching for that frag. And he will meet a wild NAF with his SMG for 3rd kill on the board for him in the round. Optic, I mean, this second half has been looking a lot better, but we've already seen this, where they pick up the pistol, they pick up the subsequent rounds, and start to fade away towards the end.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll have some second half heroes on our hands, but that was a really nice one. That was a really nice one. 3 kills into the SMG for optimal kill bonus, and just everyone staying alive. I mean, they're actually just hanging on to this MAC-10, which is, not, I mean, hilarious, alarming maybe.
I think the reason for this though, Lord, is they've correctly called there's no head armor on Liquid.
Yeah, maybe that is it, right? That could be a very good point.
They go for more, you know, utility and potential defuse kits, and in the minds of Optic, they're like, okay, why not just go for the MAC-10? And Pimp completely caught this pants down there. Fortunately for him, Nitro will pick up the slack, but now the full-on aggression is there, and they know that Nitro is on long, so he has to bide his time and really play this one to perfection. That's going to cost him a lot of utility to get himself out of harm's way, but he's still on long.
Yeah, they've got to make the decision now. Optic are like, we have one player here. Do we want to isolate him, or do we want to wait and have to watch this angle while we watch the other 2 choke points? I mean, both people's jobs are hard. I mean, even if they do let him live, Nitro's got to pick a perfect time to come out when they know he's coming. So here's mixwell, just throwing a flash, keeping the CT honest. Hope people on the retake.
Frag goes down. The good thing though from Nitro there is because he was such a pain in the ass for so long, they used a lot of utility to try and get him out of the position. And in doing so now, Liquid are just jumping on top of that. Mixwell's in the perfect position to strike. Spray through the smoke, and he's going to look for the spray onto the second player for EliGE, and he gets the clutch. Mixwell must be on to plus 20 frags. It's 23 and 13.
Wow.
He's 10 kills ahead of the nearest player on his team.
Damn. As you heard us call him out, I mean, just being kind of the counterpart to JDM on Optic and not having the impact last round or last map. But the crazy part about Mixwell is just how proficient he is with a rifle as well. He's definitely, I mean, I want to say not the best in I don't know if you could say best in North America or best like dual or like hybrid, but he is just insane with the rifle as well. Wow, it's just like deja vu. Exactly. Triple kill comes out with the MAC-10 from NAF, and Optic are doing a fantastic job of bolstering their economy, putting the MAC-10 in the perfect spot every single round, and only buying MAC-10s and still converting.
NAF has been somewhat of a beast with that weapon, hasn't he? 3k again. Money in the bank. Pimp. I mean, this is very much deja vu. Last time Pimp was on the doors trying to look for an exit frag. This time he's going to die to the MAC-10 again. It's not going to be NAF for the final kill. This time it's Mixwell. But they have brought this deficit down to 4 rounds now, which of course is still firmly in favor of Liquid. All they have to do is win, you know, a couple of rounds, and then they're on the brink of winning this map outright. But it's putting more and more pressure on the shoulders of Liquid. They're going to go for a double AWP setup. JDM and Pimp have 1 apiece, and Pimp is going to be running on A by himself.
Yeah, it wasn't actually such a hot strategy for Optic, but they kind of played it weird, as you pointed out, where they had
push.
Yeah, that push. So maybe if they do this, but then keep it a little bit more passive, they might have a lot more success. Smokes are going to be cascading over the site, and this can be scary as an opper, hoping that the team's going to give you a kill in their default. But I mean, we see the red square on the map. It's on A. No, these smokes are not for him. Ooh.
So that is NAF going down, which is going to alleviate some of the pressure. The thing is, though, that Liquid are still having the bulk of their defenses on the A side, on the B side, pardon me, which are now trying to rotate themselves through. stanislaw was such an aggressive play. He's going to reap the rewards onto Nitro. Problem is that he dies afterwards, and when you're in a 4v4, that's maybe not a worthwhile trade. Pimp at the back of the site has missed his opportunity, and he will go down straight away afterwards. And now there's only 2 flashes to bounce back on this site with, Lon, as it's not looking too great for Liquid. It's going to have to be raw fragging power.
Oh. And Mixwell there, just as a player, it seemed like was just going to hide after that. Goes down with another man, and there it is, Tarik to seal it up, 9-12. And I just want to say, Stanislaw, those are the kind of plays that, you know, make me really pay attention to him as a player. It's just like, you saw him take damage, and then he waited by the door where he could potentially get spammed, and completely called out Nitro, who assumed that because the site was taken, it was going to be a retake situation. I can reload right now. I'm just spamming. They're going to give me the space. And Stanislaw's like, no, I'm not going to give you the space. I'm going to kill you.
Mixwell, on a team that's 3 rounds behind, is on 27 kills. He's actually on par with what EliGE pulled off in that first map, if he continues to go this way. Mm. He's on par for that sort of mid to late 30 bomb.
That's true.
Which is, I mean, again, that's so nuts considering that he's on the losing team right now. Liquid are back into another eco, though. Apart from a scout, they don't have a great deal to play with. They've got a couple of deagles as well, and EliGE does have his sights trained on the long side of B.
I've got you in my sights.
He certainly will. Someone comes out, but can he actually connect the shot, though? Tarik did land a couple of nice frags on Nuke with a scout, it should be said.
He did do that. They were kind of almost, I don't want to say handed to him, but there it is. NAF doing work, spotting another one drop, and then the last person to be goes down to Rush. JDM, he just has the 5-7, huh? That's it.
And again, it's just the SMG that dies. So Optic are playing this one flawlessly so far. You almost want to lose the UMP in these kind of situations so you can replenish with the AK and just have the superior firepower. And plus, now JDM's like, I want to get myself a weapon. It's just the UMP. Not too great against armor. Can he get any more kills from this? It's looking so unlikely in Liquid. Wait, is it correct that they haven't won a single round their CT side so far?
It's been an alarming amount of rounds in a row for Optic. I mean, the more that we just talk about the round as it happens, when we look back and just see a collection in a row. I mean, it's just, yeah, they've been nonstop and they've been doing a great job on top of that of capitalizing on each round. And yeah, they just haven't even dropped a single
7 consecutive rounds, yeah.
7 rounds in a row, wow. And just like that, I mean, you're at the point where just because of, I mean, yeah, very smartly called, the tactical pause will come out for Liquid, and they will go to the drawing board. A good opportunity to do it. They played out their pistol round. I mean, it's nice. It seems like it's a skill in itself to make sure that you're calling your tactical pauses at the appropriate moments, because a lot of teams will just lose a rifle round, call the pause, and then play out a pistol, and then have to remember what they did, or just recall it and then hit them with a rifle. But here they've just done it at a good moment.
At that point, it almost seems like a knee-jerk reaction. Like, oh, we're getting wrecked. Just call a pause. Just call a pause. Like, you know, desperation mode engaged. But this does seem like a little bit more of a calm, collected decision. We'll have to see if they mix anything up. It may just be a case of trying to take the momentum away from Optic. Liquids, it's really hard to see any positives in their CT side thus far. Optic have just been on a different level. Mixwell in particular has been unreal. 28 kills now. Double up setup again. We've already seen this. Pimp was on his own last time on A. Did not work at all. He played the deep part of the site right back on the boxes, the barrels. Missed his shot and died. So I'm curious to see if we're going to see a similar... And judging from where he's looking right now in his position, I think we are going to see it. But Nitro is going to be alongside him, maybe.
I think if one thing has rung true for Optic, it's that they've every single round had one person go aggressive for their opening kill. Not just stayed back and seen Liquid push and then capitalized. Oh my god! Through the smoke and a flash, and there it is.
30 bomb has been dropped in style, and there's still plenty more Counter-Strike if Optic continue to push this way. Mixwell going from strength to strength, and Liquid decide, all right, peace, we're done. I mean, Mixwell didn't just hit the shot through a flash and a smoke. He avoided tagging his teammate as well. His teammate jumped across, and then he shot. Threading the needle.
All consciously, of course. That was it. I just did the math right before he got blinded. This is how this round is going to play out a million different ways. This is where I take the shot to get this kill 100%. I don't know how he did it, but he managed to end that second. And then another kill in a molly, just with the pressure on him. No problem. And just, oh, Pimp getting a kill. This should be a really, I mean, if they're going to try to find the CTs right now, they should be able to hold this down, no problem, yeah. But almost worth going for these kills because Liquid are just so close to actually just straight up losing at this point. And they've got money to burn. Rush on 16K, literally wants to die. Just somebody kill me, he says, and wow.
So nuts.
You know, there was no tell, like JDM didn't even shoot yet. He would just line that up and took the shot.
Yep. I guess it's worthwhile just doing, like, there's no real danger of dying yourself unless someone gets you through a ridiculous shot through the smoke. But now it looks like they're going to switch up the pace a little bit with Stanislaw going straight out in the high-progressive play. It's not quite going to work. He did take 54 health away from EliGE. But I think we can also say, you know, we also called after the first map in the pre-game analysis section that Mixwell was going to have to significantly repel JDM, and he's certainly done that, and then some. Nitro is going to be the receiving end of a battering, and now JDM has to try and get them on the cross. Bomb gets dropped out in a pretty sketchy position, and Liquid do have a player advantage. They're going to have to jump on top of this opportunity. NAF Markovic could be the next to fall, and JDM lands it. It's looking good, but then Mixwell and Rush come back with kills of their own.
Oh my god!
What is that? Mixwell lands the Tech-9 drive-by, leaving JDM in a 1-on-2.
I didn't know he was a member of NWA. A drive-by Tech-9 headshot over the side of the truck. You can't explain things. You can't explain some things. Now GDM's going to be pushing through the smoke. This is a pretty YOLO play. I mean, he's just trying to isolate one person. If he's afforded the opportunity, but he has the op. A severe disadvantage, going to run into the spikes at mixwell, but he unscopes and moves. Good opportunity now, and Rush finds the kill. Optic now actually even up off of that, and what an incredible round from mixwell. I mean, not only is he on an insane pace to get as many kills as EliGE, I think he's actually past that point.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, with the amount of rounds that are left over. And this one, wow, just easy E.
33 and 14. Nearest player on his team's on like 15. He's double anyone else on Optic. This is as hard a carry as you could really ask for. Now Rush is going to be doing what the Stanislaw did in the last one, and he is going to get himself a frag in exchange. Mixwell comes through, as will Rush, and this is just looking horrific for Liquid. Their CT side has completely capitulated.
An absolute clinic as Mixwell finds another kill. They were able to just go out of long B. I mean, there was a smoke missed by the by Liquid. The deep long B smoke just completely whiffed, and then oh, here's Nitro actually spotted as well. I mean, his life is valuable at this point. He wants to hang on this gun. Knows that he's not going to be able to do it without taking a fight, however, and ends up losing said fight.
The life that in many ways is more valuable is JDM, as he does have the AWP and the Kevlar plus nades. He needs to survive desperately for Liquid. There's the first, but his position now is known. He's got Stanislaw watching from mid. Tarik's going to be pushing his location. Molotov comes through as well. It's not quite spreading far enough. JDM nearly lands the no-scope. He's going to be trying to use the smoke to save himself, and he will just about get away out the round with the AWP. Can they put it to use, though? And this is the first time that Optic's been in the lead, I think, in the entirety of Cobblestone.
Did they start out by losing a pistol? Yes, they
lost
did.
The pistols at Liquid, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, they were just scrambling to put together whatever half they could possibly get, and now they're look at me now. That's what they're saying. Wow, unreal. Olaf smoke comes out. This is just an attempt to try to bait out resources. A lot of people, we see these smokes getting thrown like early on, and people wonder, well, why do you throw the smoke if you're not going to use it? Well, as long as CTs throw nades in response, the smoke only costed you $300, so you want to look at it as this maybe bit out a Molotov, right? $600. A smoke in response, $300. A couple of flashes, $400.
And the thing is as well, is this has also been set up from hyper-aggressive pushes out of the plat. If you just do this, you play passive every round, then the CTs know nothing's going to happen. I'm looking at teams like Flipside, for example. Whereas Optic have consistently pushed through with Stanislaw, as Mixwell now going to be going down into drop zone. So it forces Liquid to respect the fact that smoke could mean a rush is imminent, or they're going to try and push through drop zone. Now Liquid in a really poor buy, losing that first player. Rush has spotted EliGE and will convert into the headshot. Still, should be mentioned, if you just joined us, this is the 10th round in a row that Optic have won. Liquid have not won a single round on their CT side. This could be round number 11 now.
Mixwell is literally such a god at the moment that he got his teammate to jump down drop just to boost him back up. Because he does what he wants and he goes where he wants. Wow. And that's, I mean, this might be one away from match point. I mean, Liquid probably were expecting to concede this round, and Mixwell just adding to the tally. Another frag. My gosh.
36. EliGE got 37 in that first map. And Mixwell already on 36 kills. I want to see him hit the 40.
I want to see him hit the 40, and therefore I want Liquid to win this round. Also, for the sake of just not completely blowing the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, showing that they have at least some stake in this win, and that they can bring it back. I mean, that would be so bad for them to know that they just didn't get a single round on CD side. Oh, truly depressing. I'm just wondering. I mean, Mixwell's got this magnet in his hand, so I'm just waiting for CT to just walk right into him.
It's got to be one of the most impressive performances that I've seen with the AWP on Cobblestone in quite some time. Been lights out Counter-Strike. Double AWP setup again. Liquid hasn't worked either time they've used this. This will be try number 3. Slower paced round though this time for Optic. The last 2 times they've been double AWP setups, they've been rushing onto sides. One was A, one was B. Now they're going to try and take control over drop zone, which has by and large been their room to use whenever they so please. And Liquid will oblige again, just pulling out of there. But it could be a fake. They've thrown in quite a lot of utility, and now they're going to be joining both NAF and Tarik on mid. So it is going to be a fake onto B.
Yeah, this was kind of a ragtag fake as well. They have used so much utility and also are taking so much time to make their way over that there are actually 2 people at A. that pretty much haven't moved. I mean, there just isn't enough reason. Liquid haven't had any reason to really bite, and have now it's actually Optic to start to run. Nice shot from Pimp. Head goes down of Rush, and that might alert the CTs to come over and help out.
It sure is. They're going to be greeted with the smoke on the doors. This forces Pimp's hand a little bit more to play more of an aggressive position and just spot out for as much info as possible. But more importantly, EliGE is now coming around the back, so there's no chance of getting themselves out of this side. Pimp is going to go in for a third kill of the round, and this is much better for Liquid. Finally get themselves around, and it's actually flawless. They don't lose a single player, so maybe, just maybe, they've finally woken up.
I wonder, that was actually the only round, and I mean, this is something that... this is just a really good round from Pimp as well. I mean, good patience here to find this kill. I mean, didn't move from the spot, and you could be tempted knowing that there are just so many choke points that the T's could be coming from to try to change up your angle, but instead just stay strong. Realize that his team has the other side cut off, but now it's Optic actually looking to turn up the pace, so not even time to talk about what just happened.
Oh, mixwell.
Are they going to follow up, though? They've actually just let him out, and I don't know if he's going to get really aggressive here. Oh, but there it is, a trade. Oh. Mixwell with another flick, a second kill.
How do they counteract this? Single-handedly comes out with 2 entries. He's the first player in with an AWP and makes it work. Now Nitro has to try and save the AK, and again, in a similar position to what we've seen before, Liquid, after winning, have now lost their round loss has been reset. They're going to be into a sketchy position going through into the next round. If Nitro can save, maybe they can rummage together a decent buy.
And I think I was going to say that on the previous round, it was one of the only times that Liquid hadn't just gotten killed early on in the round. Optic had decided that they would let the clock kind of dry out, and I think that's when they're the weakest. You know, they let it go to the 30-second mark, and then they just they realized they've been holding shift too long. They didn't actually get anything going, and they don't have a kind of a plan for a late round execute. We saw them use too many resources, and so it seems like if you can get Optic to wait that long, you will have success. But in this situation, realize they've got to do what works. They've gone aggressive once again off of that smoke, and Mixwell, of course, was the man to head the attack.
Has topped EliGE's kill total on that first map now, 38 kills.
I've never seen back-to-back maps with like one player from each team just get such incredible impact. I mean, just the one performance alone is enough to talk about, tell your friends about. Wow.
Been kind of blessed here. It has been a strange old game of CS though, this one. 15-13, you think, okay, this is really close, but both halves have been insanely one-sided. 12-3 first half for Liquid. Now you're looking at a similar sort of score for Optic. And Liquid's just trying to save on to this. They did win Nuke, but they're on the brink of losing Cobblestone, Mag 7, a couple of FAMASs, a couple of assault rifles. This is where JDM does struggle a little bit with the M4. And Optic, these are the rounds that you were highlighting before where they may struggle a little bit when they take their time. And so far, not a great deal has happened here in round 29.
Yeah, this is actually quite curious for myself. I mean, the utility has gone down. We still have 2 Molotovs for Liquid. They have long B control. Not a single kill has been had. And at least here we have a little bit of information being scouted out. I don't know if Stanislaw is going to be offered up a frag. His teammate under him is actually following him around. That's cute, but also smart.
40 seconds left. Optic still haven't pulled the trigger. They're going to be coming through right now into EliGE. And he was the player that stood tall for Liquid in the first map. Pimp will come back with a kill of his own. Stanislaw, in the meanwhile, is making a move around the back. Mixwell has came in with another kill. It's all down to Hiko. He's going to try and silence Stanislaw first and take the AK away from him. That's intelligent. It also allows him now to fully commit to the B side. He doesn't have to worry about anyone behind him. He is a clutch master, but this could be too much to ask for.
It would be so appropriate, right, for Mixwell to get this kill in this potentially final kill of the map. Hiko in a 1v2. This is his role. Actually does quite a bit of damage there. And now Hiko's options are limited. Not much health remaining. Starting to push up, and after a couple of whiffs, he does lock it up. And that's the 40th, isn't it?
I think it's the 41st. I think he got 3 kills in that last round. He definitely got at least 40. And actually just straight up left. I kind of expect him to stay around and admire his work, but Optic have done it. Liquid picked up 1 round on their CT side. Optic, who had 3 after the first half, convert to a 16th. I'm somewhat lost for words right now, Londis.
After a long day of waiting, it's been a pleasure to get these 2 maps. I mean, they have been crazy. I mean, the amount of highlights just on Nuke alone, but then Mixwell to just turn up so hard on T side as well. You know, showing that he can get aggressive and still consistently get 1 to 2 kills every single round. It's fun to watch, to say the least.
I mean, we highlighted on the desk, right? We said Mixwell has to silence JDM. He has to go big. First half, he was fairly absent. I think he got like 15 kills, but most of them were scrappy, sort of anti-eco rounds or just getting frags where he could. But then JDM just didn't really have anywhere near the same impact as he did in the first map. So Mixwell did a great job. But we'll discuss all these things and more with Dan in just a few moments. We're going to hit a quick break first, and when we're honest, we'll be live on the desk. So stay tuned.